I was like, people that are the best for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, overall best, I was like, my brain's just thinking of 3 people.
Yeah.
There were 3 people.
And it's hard to compare cross eras. It's like comparing Jordan to LeBron, you know what I'm saying? When you, in the 90s, the game was different.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was not as much cunnilingus and play. Ass-eating wasn't even a thing yet. But like for what he had, he was killing it. He was a great scorer. He knew how to get to the hole. But then, now the game is different. There's toys in play now. It's different. It's you can't
There's a lot,
compare.
yeah. Because also, and I would have that of thinking of the sum. I was like, well, there's guys that I'm like, it was 5 years ago, and I had sex with them like twice.
Yeah.
So it's also, I go, well, if I had sex with them right now, I don't know if I'd say the same thing.
You could also, it could just be, you could be remembering it fondly. You know what I'm saying? You can never know. And honestly, I don't even want a girl to ever tell me I'm the best she ever had, because my first like instinct is like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? I can tell. You think I can't handle the truth? I can handle the truth, son. You tell me honestly.
Right.
I don't like when she tells me I'm the best, and I hate, and this obviously doesn't happen, but this used to be a thing that like when she said, oh my God, it's so big, like don't do that.
Ooh,
don't do that.
Okay.
I don't need to hear it. I have worked long and hard to be comfortable with my penis size. I know it's alright, but I've also seen porn. I know it's out there, son. And if you've had that, that's cool. You don't gotta tell me I'm the biggest.
Interesting.
Don't gotta do that. Thank
That's
you,
hilarious.
but please shut your mouth. Thank you so much.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Shooters Gotta Shoot. I am your host, Eric Aspera, and I have a great guest for you guys this week. But first, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, baby. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. It's free. Hit the button. Help your girl out. And if you're listening to us, go over there anyway and subscribe. I think you want to watch it. I think it's more fun to watch it. We're doing some TikTok videos now. Get involved with the gang. You could look us up at Shooters Gotta Shoot podcast, or the link is in the description of this episode. And if you really want to help us out, you can join the Patreon, which is patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. We have over 100 extra episodes on there, but really we just use that money to pay for the studio, get some good guests in here, help your girl out. Patreon.com/shootersgottashoot. All right, without further ado, I got to bring on my guest this week. Hit it, Fonzie. Ooh. I'm feeling this song today. You might recognize this guy from Hannah Berner's TikTok videos. Interviewing on the street.
Facts.
He runs some great shows, Brownish in New York City and Street Talk Comedy. He's the Puerto Rican and Cuban Poppy. Put your hands together for JC Mendoza.
Yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me. Yes, definitely. Thank you for mentioning Hannah Berner's TikTok. Like I said, that's done way more for my career than anything that I've done by myself. So
well, listen, I always love your answers on the TikTok. I'm always like, this guy gets it.
I be trying, man. But honestly, man, I be thinking it's the other men who also answer the questions just make it really easy for me, because we're all comics, and I know them all. They're all very stupid, and the bar is non-existent to step over. So I look like a big king, which I'm cool, but they're just they make me look great.
Well, it is interesting because like some of her questions, Jordan Fisher, a good friend of the show, he is pretty knowledgeable on women, I would say. Not an idiot. We've had him on many times. The fans love him. However, she had specifically a question about, it was like, how many tampons does a woman go through on her period? I don't know if you were in that one.
No, thank God.
But that was one I was like, oh wow, this is shockingly bad.
That's a tough one, because I watched that video and I saw the responses to the guys' answers, and I still don't know the correct answer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just something that we don't know. Like a box. I don't know.
It's just so funny. A box, that was the closest answer.
Yeah.
Because he was like, well, if you buy a box when you have it, you use the whole box. I was like, okay, this guy's got some logic.
It makes
There's
sense.
some logic. But even Jordan was like, that's the one that stumped me. It's like, of all the questions I've seen come up.
No matter how progressive we are as a man, there's still not lines that we don't cross, but there's still like there's ends to our knowledge. Like, should we know the intricacies of how many tampons you use? I feel like that's personal for y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I wasn't mad about that one. That one didn't make me mad. It wasn't like, how can these men not know? It just was more eye-opening of like, yeah, they really just don't know what we go through.
Even the best of us.
Yeah, you really have no idea.
Big idiots,
no idea. I love when people are like, one for the day. It's like, oh, cringing answer.
Yeah, it's tough.
But I'm very excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here, man.
I actually wanted to throw a question to you of this caught my eye of one of your answers on her videos, and it was about body counts of women, and it basically was like, do you care what a woman's body count is? And I don't know if you want to give your answer here.
Yeah. Honestly, I do not care. I do not care because, like, I'm 30 years old now. I feel like I've lived a life. And in theory, like, it's way easier for, like, women are going to have more options than men. Like, you guys are in control of that. Like, you guys are calling the shots. Like, I take what I can get as a man. Like, I take whatever's possible, and I'm grateful for it. But you guys, attractive women, young, do whatever you want. Like, the options are there for y'all. So for you to take advantage of all the options that you have, that doesn't reflect poorly on you as a person. And my answer was like, if anything, I'll judge you if it's low, because now you're just being inefficient. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all these options. Use them, have fun, live your life. Because that way, whenever it's time for you and whoever to settle down, if that's what you want, like, you know what you like. You've been out there. You're not that it's not okay to be learning, but you are more in tune with your body, what you like. You've had a lot of experiences to call back on, and I think that's just going to make your eventual relationship stronger.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
It's interesting because it's like, obviously, you know, the classic slut shaming or whatever.
Yeah,
for
guys,
women
I don't know why we're so weird about that.
Yeah, if you get with a lot of people. However, I'm like, even the sluttiest slut
Yeah.
is turning down more dicks than she's saying yes
That's
to.
true. I've never thought of. That's a fact, though.
That's a fact for pretty much every woman.
That's true. That's really true.
And
that's
why,
a great way to put it.
Right.
Yeah, I like
that's always how I think is like, listen, we're all saying no to more than we're saying yes to.
Yeah.
As women, if you date men.
Yeah,
Let me put
facts.
it that way. So it's like, the body count number, I don't think it really.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And I don't know. Guys are so weird about, I only want a woman with single digits. Like, why? Who? Like, what does that? What does that matter? It's not like you have to fight. If it was like a melee tournament where you had to fight every person she's ever been with, like on some fucking Scott Pilgrim versus the World shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to do that every time, then I get it. But it doesn't matter. She could have been with 300. If I don't got to fight none of them, that's great.
Right.
That's great. I just got the experience. It's like Chris Rock said on a Kanye song before he went nuclear, and now we can't listen to him no more. But he said it on what was the song? Blame Game, where Chris Rock is on the end. He's like, "Who taught you how to do that?" Yeezy taught me. Well, Yeezy taught you well. I want somebody that, for lack of a better term, Yeezy taught very well.
Right. Well, I was going to say this too, right? A lot of men, when you go to, let's talk about dirty talk a little bit, okay? You give a man a compliment in bed means way more if you've been with more people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Specifically, a dick compliment.
That's where my whole philosophy is built on. Because if we're in bed, and this is not what's usually said, but if you're in bed like, this is the best I've ever had, like, what have you had? What's your sample size? You know what I'm saying? Like, that means a lot more coming from somebody who's had a lot than somebody who's just saying what they think they have to say to make me feel good. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's, if you've had a lot,
it means
then
more.
it means a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't, it's still special.
Right.
But, you know, the numbers, the data doesn't back it up.
Right. How about this? I've kind of fucked this up, but I didn't think it was a fuck up. I once told a guy, "You're some of the best I've ever had."
Oh, that's funny.
And he spiraled.
If somebody told me that, like during sex, I would laugh. I'd be like, "That's hilarious," because even at our most intimate intent, you can't lie, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I would laugh, and I'd be like, "Oh, you motherfucker, that's good. You should write." Actually, can I write that down?
Right.
That's what I would say.
Well, he brought it up. It was someone I was seeing. He brought it up at another time.
Oh, that's funny.
And I was like, how many people do you think are in the some category?
Yeah.
Because I go, for most women, if you go, think of the best sex you've ever had. I've asked many female friends this.
Yeah.
They're immediately like, I'm thinking of like 3 people.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a bar, and there's people that are above the bar, and that's best sex you've ever had.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that are below the bar. Yeah. That's it. There's a certain level, and there's some people that are above it, and some people are below.
And you were telling him he was in that category.
That's what I literally explained it to
you're
him.
top tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, people that are the best for different reasons.
Yeah.
So it's like, overall best, I was like, my brain's just thinking of 3 people.
Yeah.
There were 3 people.
And you can't, and it's hard to compare cross eras. It's like comparing Jordan to LeBron. You know what I'm saying? When you, in the 90s, the game was different.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was not as much cunnilingus and playing. Ass-eating wasn't even a thing yet. But like for what he had, he was killing it. He was a great scorer. He knew how to get to the hole. But then, now the game is different. There's toys in play now. It's different. It's you can't
There's a
cross
lot.
compare.
Yeah. Because also, and I would have that of thinking of the sum. I was like, well, there's guys that I'm like, it was 5 years ago, and I had sex with them like twice.
Yeah.
So it's also, I go, well, if I had sex with them right now, I don't know if I'd say the same thing.
You could also, it could just be you could be remembering it fondly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can never know. And honestly, I don't even want a girl to ever tell me I'm the best she ever had, because my first like instinct is like, why are you lying? Why you lying? You think I can't handle the truth? I can handle the truth, son. You tell me honestly.
Right.
I don't like when she tells me I'm the best, and I hate, and this obviously doesn't happen, but this used to be a thing that like, when oh my God, it's so big, like, don't do that.
Ooh,
Don't do that.
Okay.
I don't need to hear it. I have worked long and hard to be comfortable with my penis size. I know it's all right, but I've also seen porn. I know it's out there, son. And if you've had that, that's cool. You don't gotta tell me I'm the biggest.
Interesting.
Don't gotta do that. Thank you,
hilarious.
but please shut your mouth. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I agree. It's also, we've all had sex with people, right? And then gone, woof, not my best game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
That
100%.
I go, that person walks away, they don't think I'm great in bed. And they would tell someone, she's not that great.
Yeah.
And I'd sit there and go, well, that night, that was not.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, that's true.
And so same thing of sometimes you could fuck someone on their best night.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll fuck someone and they're being Linsanity that night. But they're not Jordan, you know? But in your brain, you're like, he's fucking Jordan.
Yeah, this undrafted guy just dropped 38 points on Darren Williams. How did he do that?
Right.
Yeah,
You're
that's
like,
facts.
I got Linsanity night at the Garden,
Yeah.
some other girl.
And is Linsanity one of the best point guards of all time? No, but there's still a 30 for 30 about him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So he could be one of the best. But that is probably the greatest basketball to sex analogy that I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly.
Thank you. Oh, wow, that was amazing.
We nailed it.
That was incredible.
We solved the whole problem.
That was so good.
This is great. You're the new co-host. We're on.
Let's get
It's
it.
fitting the theme. Shooters gotta shoot.
God,
I love it.
That's great.
I love it. Okay, so before we get to like our little TikToks and stuff,
I bet.
I have a couple questions for you. So I am curious. Since we are shooters, got to shoot. It's always fun for me to ask the guest of a shooting your shot story. So what's the time you shot your shot, and was it a hit or a miss?
Well, I'm generally not a big shooter. You know what I'm saying? I like to look at myself not as the hoop, but I don't like the feeling of going up to a woman in my case and like trying to convince them that I'm somebody that they should spend time with. It feels creepy to me.
Interesting.
To be like, oh yeah, you should come, let me take you out. Like I don't like to feel like I'm reaching too far because I don't know. Anytime I have to convince somebody, it feels like I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. I need for it to feel 50-50. But that being said, I was in college once and there's people that I wanted and oh man, there was this one girl that I wanted so bad. And I used to, I would try everything. Like, she was in a relationship. I was super respectful, but I was like, I used to tell my friends, when that is done, because it will end, I am going to be there.
But you weren't lingering in the friend zone?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because she was dating a guy that I knew I was cool with. And
then that is respectful.
And I was always respectful, but I would tell my homies, I'm like, when that's done. Because the first time I saw her, because I'm Puerto Rican and she was like Puerto Rican, like from Puerto Rico. So she came over and she was like cursing somebody out on the phone. When she walked in, I was like, she is amazing. That is somebody that I need to spend time with.
I feel home.
And then, so they eventually broke up and I was like, perfect, this is time. Like we exchanged numbers. It was great. And then.
Wait, on the exchange numbers, what you just say?
Oh,
hey?
no, we were just at a school event and I just pulled up like, hey, we should hang out. And she was like, yeah. So that was good. That was cool.
That's shooting your shot.
But I was never able to seal the deal because when we would get together alone, I would try to make a move and she'd be like, nah, but I heard what you were saying. Like you used to think that I was easy, that you could get with me. I'm like, no, you're misinterpreting it.
Oh.
I was manifesting.
Yeah.
I was which if I would have done today, I was manifesting before it was hot in the streets.
Yeah. Okay.
I was putting it out there. I didn't have a vision board, but she was on it. You know what I'm saying?
Which you never said she was easy. You
I just said
that
that will happen because I need it to happen. And she just interpreted like, oh, you were saying that I was easy and that this was. So she was upset. And Latina, so she was giving me a lot of attitude about it, which I loved. You know what I'm saying? And then the one night that we got the closest, she was she was like, oh no, I have class in the morning. I was like, listen, stay here. I will go to class for you. Okay, I will take notes. I will do whatever you need done. Just please don't leave this room right now.
Oh my
and she's
God.
like, no, I can't. I gotta go. And she left, and then I was never able to get that close again.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I have way more stories of near misses than basket makes.
I mean, many of us do.
Yeah.
I have some hard misses that are embarrassing, and I don't want to keep telling them on the show.
I feel you. I'll go check the other episodes.
Yeah. Listen to the backlog. There's a bunch of them. I think actually our fourth. I think the fourth episode, because I was like, this show's called Shooters Gotta Shoot. And I was like, I got to put my money where my mouth is. And that episode, I tell my two hardest, most horrifying stories of me shooting shots.
Shit,
I was doing some hard romantic moves. Because you just watch movies, you're like, that's what you got to do.
For you, do you feel like you have to take a lot of shots? Or
yes.
Wow.
I don't feel.
I know I'm dumb as hell.
Really?
Women have to try really hard to make me notice that they're making themselves available for any level of romance.
I feel like it's not even trying hard. It's just making it known.
Yeah.
Because from my learned misses, I've learned it's you just have to put it out there. Yes, I'm interested.
Yes.
Or even just I would get a drink with you sometime.
Yeah.
And then I leave it on them to follow up and do it. Yeah. Make it happen.
I feel bad for you to have to leave any part of it up to men because
that's pretty bad.
We are not the best. We are definitely not the best. The girl that I'm dating now, the first night that we hung out and we were she was trying to make her move because we were having a great day, and I knew I didn't want it to stop, and she knew she didn't want it to stop, but like I didn't know how to make the next move, and she was like trying so hard to like be like, do you want to come up, but without saying it, and then she just got fed up. She was like, do you want to meet my dog? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, that's a smooth line.
And she was so pissed by the time that she said it because I was missing every sign. She said, you want to just come meet my dog? All right, it's a great dog. And I was like, let's do it.
That's a good line.
That is a
Because
good
I was
one.
like what is it? God, I think it from a Seinfeld episode. It was the oh, you want to come up for a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
And they're like, coffee's not coffee. Coffee's sex.
Yeah.
You know.
So she was throwing a lot of those out, and like she might have even said, you want to get coffee? I'm like, nah, I don't drink coffee, you know, I don't do well with caffeine. And she's like, motherfucker, meet my dog.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah.
Do you like dogs? You're like, I don't really like dogs.
I'm not really a dog person. She's like, to meet mine. Okay, she's great. She's a rescue.
So funny.
Yeah.
Well, there actually was a viral TikTok I saw, and it was a guy saying, he had a theory of, if a man is really into you on a first date, he's not going to try to touch you and make a move.
I am a firm believer in that.
Oh,
Also
okay.
because I don't like to make the first move just because I know sometimes, like I've heard too many stories of women feeling uncomfortable because like as a man, we might think a situation is going one way and we're taught to be aggressive and like, oh yeah, you know, sometimes you got to go for it. But I've also heard so many stories from women like, yeah, I only did it because he was making a move and I didn't want to say no. And that's
Whoa.
terrifying. And I don't ever want to be in a situation like that. So like
Yeah.
I will wait hours before I
God.
make a move to the point of frustration that on her part, I'm sure.
Your
But yeah.
move is basically like, if she doesn't leave for 3 hours.
Yeah.
then
Like if you
she's
still
into
want to
me.
be here, like it, yeah. And like, cause I don't know, man. Some girls they don't like to be like, oh, can I kiss you? They think that's weird. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah,
feel.
I would
I
agree.
feel weird saying that. You know what I'm saying? So I always think that first moment is like when the first physical move is made. I always think it's weird, and I would much rather a woman make that move because I'm definitely with it if we're hanging out. Like if I've said yes to the date,
Interesting.
it's because I think you're attractive enough to see it forward.
Oh, we've discussed this many times on the pod of like, a man is on a date with you because he would have sex with you.
100%.
The date is him figuring out, do I
How-
like you?
yeah.
Do I not like you?
Yeah.
And even if the answer is, I don't like you,
Yeah.
yes,
Which
he
is-
will still have sex with you.
Exactly.
That's
Literally,
the whole
100%.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. But sometimes for women, it's not that. Sometimes, oh, you know, let's see where this goes. Like a genuine
Yeah.
up in the air 50-50, not even 50-50 sometimes. Sometimes it's like 90-10 no. So I don't ever like to make that first move. I feel better when women do it, but I understand when women are frustrated that men don't do it.
Interesting.
It's
This is very interesting. Like even just the first kiss. That's what's shocking
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go close. Like I'll get close, but like
You'll do little touches.
yeah, I'm a
Okay.
big, you know what I like to do or what I used to like to do?
Oh yeah, give me the move.
I would, because you know how the thing is to make sure that a woman is walking on the inside of the street versus
Yes,
the outside.
that's the chivalrous.
That's the only chivalrous thing that I believe in because my grandma drilled it into me. Other than that, I think a lot of chivalrous stuff is like really misogynist secretly.
Okay.
But that's the only thing I do, and it's like a little secret move. Like you grab the inside of the waist right here and just gently guide her to the inside of the street. That's how I like to break a touch
A
barrier.
little bit. Yeah, I like a little
Just a little. Hey, I'm here, and I'm
Yeah.
a little bit manly.
well, it's like this happened I feel like more in college cuz you're like familiar with people around. But it's like if I was flirting with someone in a bar and talking to a guy all night, when I would then get the lower
lower
hand
back.
touch,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
be like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. That was
You would
my
think-
signal. I was like, I'm fucking in.
It's funny 'cause
I'm going home with this guy.
That's hilarious.
It's a wrap. I was
That's
like,
funny
I
because
got
you're
it.
thinking you're in, and the guy's like sweating like this could ruin everything. If I get this hand placement wrong, everything I
Yeah.
could wake up without a job tomorrow.
But I think it's a good indicator when you're like, I know this guy, you're kind of friends, but I'm in the bar being like, I'm trying to flirt.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't know if he's getting this flirt vibe.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget one night texting my friend where she was like, we think we're leaving soon. Are you going? I said, I got the hand on the back. I'm good. I'm
could've
good.
left 20
He's
minutes
walking me
ago.
home. He's walking me home.
I love that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I was like-
Anything around the love handle area is usually go time.
Okay. All right. I agree with that.
There you go.
Okay. Here's another question here for like a man's opinion. Have you ever done something to test a woman that you're dating?
To test a woman that I'm dating, like to see what she would do hypothetically without
Kind
letting
of
her
like
know?
how they react to something, what they would do. I feel like women test more than men.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm always curious to ask men, have you ever done something? And I often feel when men say yes, it always is something around like the bill being paid.
Oh,
They kind of just want to see.
test. I don't think I've ever put a woman to the test deliberately. I feel like if I had a question, I would just ask it. But yeah, around the bill paying, I like a check dance. I don't always need it, especially if I ask you. I don't need it.
Right.
It's nice. You know, there's little things that I like, but that I don't require it. Like, you know, what's the movie? Bronx Tale, like when she would lean over
Yes,
to do
the
the door.
door.
I've never given that test, but I do like it when I see a woman making the effort to
You
do
notice.
it. Yeah, I notice,
Yeah.
but I don't ever hold them to like, oh, if she doesn't do this, she can't be a real. You never know where somebody comes from, what they learn. And if I feel like if I had a question, I think testing I don't even want to test because I don't want to find out the wrong answer. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm already on a date, I'm not going to test you to get it. Like, you already succeeded. We're already here. Whether this is going to go great, you know, in my head. So I'm not going to test you. I'm not going to set you up to potentially fail.
Yeah. And
I
if
think
you fail the test, I will still fuck you.
Yeah.
So
that's that's the whole thing. Like, as a guy, we don't really want to fuck this up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let me see what she's going to do. Nah, motherfucker, how about I just don't say anything until she's I'm definitely not testing anybody. I don't want nobody to fail. I don't want it to feel like a test at all.
I once heard a guy friend of mine say, he was like, if we make it to the cab ride back to someone's apartment, they say, I'm real quiet in that cab. They go, I'm real quiet in that cab because I know I could just say one thing and it just fucks the whole thing
That's
up.
a fact.
I got to the car ride to the apartment.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up in this moment.
I think for guys, and at least for me, I want to say this is true for guys as well. We're generally like, what's not the least amount of effort, but how can I say the least amount of words to get the desired result?
Okay.
Because I know the longer I have to talk, the higher the potential for me to fuck this up is.
Fair.
Because no matter how cool the guy is, we all have an opinion about something that we're not supposed to have an opinion on, or we're just gonna say something dumb like a guy would say, and it's about minimalizing that opportunity to say something fucking stupid.
That's also a good negotiation tactic. So I agree. You're like, whoever speaks first loses.
Yeah.
Say less. Usually win.
Say less.
Say less.
Say less. Word to Alex Carabano. Say less, bro.
Okay. Another question. I did prep you for this one. All right. Have you ever had somebody tell you that they had herpes?
Herpes, no. Not
no,
herpes.
Have
herpes,
not.
no. Chlamydia, yes. And wasn't that bad of a conversation. It was very, very amicable, and she was upfront about it, and I was upfront about it, and it was not awkward at all.
That was like a post hookup.
Yeah,
contacted you.
It was a girl that I had been seeing, and this was a time in my life where I was being a little bit more promiscuous. So she basically hit me. She's like, "Hey, I have chlamydia, and you gave it to me," and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, I felt bad, like because I don't want to go back and forth. Like, no, but where did you? I don't like at that point. If she's saying, I was like, my bad.
You didn't have any symptoms?
No, I didn't. I'm a guy, so like I feel like for me, even if something's a little bit wrong, I'm like, interesting. So I ate something weird today. Like, it's our threshold for we're so dumb. We will never say anything until it's like, yo, I cannot function. Like I'm going to die if I don't go to the doctor. Other than that, it's a weird Wednesday.
Okay. But I was like, most women don't show symptoms. So it's usually like the chlamydia catch is really kind of on a luck. That's why we have to go to the gyno once a year.
Going to get her, regular check. And she told me, and I was like, damn, that sucks.
Okay.
But yeah, honestly, I've had a way harder conversation for me than like in my life. Harder than chlamydia, bed bugs is a way harder conversation.
Whoa.
Way harder conversation.
That is harder to get rid of.
Way harder. Because I told a girl, I have two different women. I told one that I had chlamydia. This is two, like, around the same time in my life. One I had to have the chlamydia talk with, which was difficult, but we got past it and we were able to keep dating. But one, I had the bed bug conversation. She never spoke to me again. You know what I'm saying? It is way worse things than chlamydia.
I had bed bugs my very first apartment in New York.
Shit is not a game. Not a game. That shit traumatized me.
Yeah, and it makes you I have herpes. So I'll say this. As someone that has herpes, having bed bugs makes you feel like more of a disgusting human.
Way
Can I just
more.
say that?
Way
it's
more.
Like
people
it will
treat
never
you
go
like
away.
you grew the bed bugs in your apartment.
Yeah.
Like, nah, they just came here the same way I did. This rent is reasonable. That's why we here. But yeah, they treat you like you have the plague, and it is tough. That shit is tough.
Yeah,
that shit is tough.
Oh, I know.
Man.
I know.
My shit is. I still keep my shit in plastic just to be safe.
Dude, I had that. Yeah, you live out of the bags.
Yo, wild time.
And it's like they come to check. They're like, none, but they have to come one more. They're like, we found two. You're like, come on.
And the fucked up part is
here.
like after they treat it, like it's like you can't leave the apartment because like they treat it and you're the bait still. So like it's awful.
It's
just
terrible.
Fucking terrible.
Oh, I know. I lived it.
You understand?
It was pretty rough. Okay. All right. Let's do some of these TikToks here. Right, Fonzie. All right. So here's this first one. This first one is about slut shaming. This was a TikTok that went viral.
Slut shaming is born in the insecurities of men. And your insecurities are born in your penises and your wallet size. Because honestly, and I'm going to be super frank here, I never heard a big dick man with not just big dick energy, not just BDE, but a man who's well endowed. I've never seen a well endowed man call a woman a whore.
Okay.
It's always the men who who can't handle a sexually advanced woman in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yes. Slut shaming is
my man when he was like, I felt that shit. I felt that shit. So, yes.
He's like, and I should not interrupt her.
Yeah. He's just like, let me. Yeah. No,
let her speak.
I think. I mean, I think that's facts. Like, I think all the worst insecurities that men have, they're all from our penises. Because I mean, obviously, society is geared towards men. We stand to benefit way more. But I don't know, and this is obviously easy for me to say. I'm a man. I don't know if there's a bigger insecurity on the planet than penis insecurity. Like, I don't like, and I could be wrong, you know. And that's like, guys we're so sensitive about it. And like, it takes such a long time to realize, it's okay that you don't have a fucking 14-inch cock. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You can still be cool and probably satisfy a woman. Like, you can figure something out. Yeah. There's tools now. We have technology. Like, you can be all right. And it takes a long time for a guy to get to that place. Like, I feel like I'm 30 and I'm just now getting to be like, it's okay that there's guys out there.
And I almost feel like it's because like men watch a lot of porn or watch porn more than women.
Way too much.
And so like that is your primary exposure to what other dicks look like. And it's essentially the same. Like, if women watch porn, you're just like, Jesus, how do they not have one piece of hair?
Yeah.
How do they not have one bump?
That's
how do
true.
they not have one tan line? Like, so many things that just make you suddenly be like, oh, my butt crack doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, I think porn definitely fucks with us. I mean, I want to say that insecurity was there before porn was a big thing, but definitely doesn't help now, because especially like people are finding porn way younger, so like their whole concept of sex is getting skewed at a young age. Because like I found my mom's fucking Playboy channel at 12. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I figured out the code on the TV was 0000, and I was in that bitch every night. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I have a penis, and I'm very aware of what it looks like, and it looks nothing like that one.
Yes.
That shit is putting in work. How could, like, I had an insecurity till I was like 23 because I didn't realize that like I could sexually please a woman because I thought my penis wasn't like that. So what's the point?
Oh yeah, no. Every man needs the awakening conversation. It's like it's really not about the size of your penis.
Yeah, facts.
Because 90% of women do not come from vaginal sex.
From like the penetration.
Actual penetration. It's like that's not at all what it is.
But guys, the way that we think sometimes, because even I'll do it, because we think that sex is going to like. That every girl is marrying the person that they have the best sex with, and that's the only thing. So we're like, oh my god, if this guy has a bigger dick, he's gonna have sex with my girlfriend better than I could, and she's gonna leave me and forget about me and go with this guy forever. And that is such an irrational fear that all of us have. I don't give a fuck what a man tells you. All of us are scared.
That's so.
You know what I'm saying? Because we could be confident, rich, but if fucking Rico Strong comes walking through that door right now with Johnny Sins and Manuel Ferrara, you know what I'm saying? Every guy is nervous, son, because they know shit that we don't know. And we're all like, yo, my wife will leave me. And all of us think that way. I don't give a fuck what they tell you.
Okay, hilarious. I really am not someone that watches porn. And I recently talked to all of my good girlfriends. I was like, do you watch porn? Every single one of them said yes. And I was kind of shocked. I was like, wait, really? They were like, yeah, what? You don't? I was like, I really don't.
Yeah.
Hilarious that I'm going to fuck up his name. Emmanuel.
Manuel Ferrara.
Okay, that was one that two of my friends were like, just look up his videos. And that is the only reason I understand your reference. But I was fucking up and I was calling him Emmanuel Miranda, the guy that wrote Hamilton.
Lin-Manuel Miranda be fucking
fuck. Have you guys seen this guy?
Laying cock.
Have you seen this guy? I was
Alexander Hamilton, son. And while rapping, it's a skill. I don't know. So.
I was fucking up on that.
That's hilarious.
I was like, that's a pretty bad.
Imagine Lin-Manuel Miranda's just scrolling Twitter. Erica's tweeting like, yo, Lin-Manuel's putting down cock. He's like, my brand is up right now.
You should look him up.
This is great.
Look him up on Pornhub.
No, yeah, but for real, that's how you know men watch too much porn. I could talk about male porn stars the way that Stephen A. Smith talks about like NBA teams. Like I could have an educated roundtable discussion about who's the best in the game right now.
Okay, ready? Can you go to the keeping up appearances one? I want to do this one next.
I think the most
damn
important
it! It's
decision
the wrong
we'll
link.
make.
Crap.
That's all good.
I was like, all right, do the learning to love you one. You've been in a few relationships.
I've been in one real one.
I have a lot of female friends, and they ask me all the time, like, how do I know if he likes me? I don't know if he likes me. I don't know if he's about it. And I'm like, yo, I'm a dude's dude. I've been in multiple relationships. This is the single most quality that you need to know. The only action you need to know.
I love how every video everyone makes this is the most important thing.
First of all, anytime a man is taking a selfie video and speaking, he's wrong already. So I don't know what he's gonna say. Even if it's right and respectful to women, it's wrong.
Okay, let's
is
see.
Is he learning to love you?
Ooh.
You specifically. Is he adapting and changing and sometimes maybe even sacrificing how he normally loves, what he normally does to cater to best love you, to make you feel safe. Your good days, your bad days, your toxic traits, the trauma you've gone through that has nothing to do with him, is he there and adapting specifically to love you? That is a singular question. Or is he just in it to cater to him, his needs, his wants on his schedule without any change of action or adaptation? That's it.
All right.
All right. Well, I hate that guy, but
every man I have on the like, I hate this man.
yeah,
he hate the advice he gives.
He stinks. He's probably cool, but he stinks because just the selfie video is a wild way to present any message. But I mean, I don't think what he was saying was groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when you're in a relationship, you do have to sacrifice. And that's true of men. It's true of women. It's true of two partners. They both should be sacrificing. You're never going to meet somebody whose life just seamlessly fits with yours and you do everything that you want to do at no personal cost to yourself. That's not how anything worth having is. Like for comedy, you sacrifice. For podcasting, you sacrifice. Like for a relationship, it's no different. So I don't think you should be going out of your way to make sure that your partner's giving something up, because I think that's insane. Because you also want to give. You want them to be doing all the things they want.
Right.
But it ends up being, I think, a compromise. What do you think?
Well, I was more curious on the like learning to love them part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people, especially because I feel like we're always constantly changing people. Like, you know, like when you get married in 15 years, if you hope to still be married, you're going to be a different person in those 15 years. So you're constantly learning to love each other and what you need to do to make them comfortable around certain things. Like, I know I'm the type of person, when I feel like there's a problem, I personally love to address it right away, because I feel like I get nervous the more time passes that we don't resolve the issue. But I've been in relationships where my significant other needs time to process it. And it doesn't mean that she's growing anger with me. It's just the way that she processes situations in our relationship is just different. She needs time. And a thing that I had to do was learn how to give her that space to feel her feelings until she felt comfortable to come talk to me. Because I know me, I'm like, let's talk about it right now. Like, let's do it right now. If I'm wrong, tell me how right now. Let's because if we get it out the way now, then it's gonna be positive. But that's just not realistic. And she needed time. And yeah, I had to learn how to give her that space. And that's not a thing that I would have liked, but you have to make those sacrifices. I'm sure she sacrificed a bunch of stuff too.
Right. And I think what he's trying to touch on is like, a man won't be defensive when you ask for the thing that you need. Yeah. Because there's another part to this of like, yes, we all need to learn how to love our partner, but also our partners need to know what they need to feel loved. Yeah. Yes. So it's a dual, like, I gotta know what do I really need from you and be able to communicate that.
That's a big thing. I've been in relationships where I felt like, I was made to feel like I wasn't doing enough, but I think in retrospect, they weren't communicating what they needed from me in a way that could help me help them.
Right.
Because like sometimes, and this is not, I don't like to generalize, but like, I feel like sometimes, I think, especially in current culture, like women could be like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. Yeah. If he wanted to, he would. Everything that you want could be yours if that man wanted to do it. You would have the perfect man if he wanted to be the perfect man, and you shouldn't have to tell him. And I'm not saying all women do that, but I feel like that's a section of culture. That's a big, mindset that a lot of us have. And I just think that's unrealistic to believe that somebody can read your mind and be able to provide every single thing that you've ever wanted. No matter who you end up with, you're not settling, but nobody's going to give you every single thing that you want.
No. And I'm very anti that phrase because I'm like, it's we like phrases, they make sense, it makes it simple. But the truth of if he wanted to, he would is if he knows what it is and you communicate, then he's responsible for it. Yes. And then if he's not doing it, that's when it's like, okay, he's not meeting my worth. But you have to you have to meet him halfway, because I feel like, communication, like you said, is the whole thing. And you learn people, but obviously your partner should be making sacrifices for you, but it should be 50-50. You should also be sacrificing for them, I believe. No, I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree.
Mm-hmm. But we should defund that guy. I don't like the way.
Well, I was curious if you've ever, like, with a relationship, you've done something that, say, an ex liked. You do it in the new relationship. The new person's like, oh, I don't like. You know what I mean? That makes you be like, oh shit.
Yeah. I have things now in like the relationship that I'm building now that come from my past relationship. Like, I have anxiety around like planning big events, and my ex was like big on birthdays, huge on gift giving. That was like one of her love languages.
Can I ask this? Would it be like for your birthday, she would go like so big that then you were like, fuck, when her birthday comes, you just feel the pressure?
100%. And I am not a person who needs those gestures. That's just not I'll love it. I'll take it. Because I'm not going to be like, oh my God, you fucking invited all my friends to this place and threw a surprise party and put so much thought and effort. How could you? I'm not going to do that. While I don't need that, of course I'll accept it because it's a gift. It's a nice thing. And I understand that. And I'm like, it's hard for me to be mad at that. But the way that I give affection is not in the same way. So I have anxiety around planning big events for my significant other because I felt like the stakes were so high in my last relationship. And that's not to say that she was asking too much. Like if that's a way that she needed to receive love that wasn't natural to me. So like I felt like I was on my way to learning, but it ended up not working out. And it's just layover from that relationship. Like now the girl that I'm with now, she doesn't need as much around those big days.
Okay. Like
we both share like a love language quality time. So I still have anxiety about it and it messes me up, but she's like, hey, you don't have to panic about this. I understand you're coming from a positive place, but this is not that. And it's okay if we don't do a huge thing. And there's a difference between somebody, it's fine if we don't do a big thing, or like, no, it's okay that we don't do a big thing.
Yeah.
So like I haven't pulled anything that, my ex used to love this and she hates it. But like, I definitely have things that made me nervous from my last relationship that I'm super tentative around now that like it takes work for me to be comfortable.
I get it. And it's funny, I feel like most men feel that of when a woman does any type of big gesture.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
They more go, oh, fuck, I need to like reciprocate, or they feel the pressures on them for especially if it's some type of like relationship holiday you do together.
I just feel like naturally, I don't know, man, this is probably a bad generalization, but you guys are just so much better at it than men are. You're the way that you're thoughtful is much deeper than the way that men are thoughtful, I think, on the surface.
Well, here's also my perspective of it is if you are in a relationship, a heterosexual relationship, a lot of times the man is typically paying for more stuff through the relationship.
Yeah.
So then when a birthday pops up, a holiday pops up, I've done this where I'm like, oh, this is my chance to spend a little money on them and show my appreciation for the fact that like, yeah, they often pick up the tab when we get dinner and they don't let me pay for dinner. And it's like, okay, well, then I want to make sure I get you something really nice. True. That shows an appreciation. But I had an ex kind of freak out of like at Christmas, we were doing Christmas gifts and I said something of like, oh yeah, I got you 3 things. And he was like, 3?
Yeah,
he was like, 3? And I was like, they're 3 little things. Don't like, he was like, how much money did you spend? And I was like, $100. It wasn't a lot.
Real.
Like I was like, we only dated a couple months, dude, chill.
Yeah,
but
so real.
The fact that I said 3 things, I saw him have a panic in his face. It was like, wait, what? Like I'm gonna get
Am I toxic?
Up.
Did I fuck this up?
Yeah, or whatever.
We panic, man. And you guys are just, it's a lot of times, especially like in our first relationships, like my ex was just a lot better at giving gifts and stuff like that than I was. And she was so good. And I knew she was just showing me how she wanted to be loved that it made me nervous. I'm like, yo, if I don't get this right, she's going to think that this can't work because, and then it ended up not working. But I don't think we just got to learn how to calm down. Like, man, it's okay to not be the best. And you get better over time. It's just, we get anxious, man.
Yeah.
We get anxious. And you guys are so good. So good to us at first. Like I'm like, yeah, we're not used to be treated nice. And then
nice.
She's like, yeah,
I guess, yeah.
Here's some things. I appreciate you. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Interesting.
That's weird like that.
Okay. I want to do this. Do the I don't do boyfriends one. I hope it's the right one. You might have to crank the volume up for this. Okay. So this is.
Tell a man that I don't do boyfriends. I don't date. That this is fun. I'm just enjoying my time with you. They will work to be that exception.
Because it's usually flipped, I would say.
It challenges the ego. Oh, yeah, it's usually flipped. It challenges the ego as I'm going to be that person that's going to change the way that she thinks. I'm going to be that person. No matter how much I like you.
After 25.
I love me more.
Okay, I wish I learned that earlier on.
Okay. So this thought is basically if you tell a guy, I don't do boyfriends, that's a challenge to them.
Yeah.
And they're really going to step it up
to
be chosen as a boyfriend.
She's talking about reverse psychology.
I guess. I don't know. But I mean, do you think this would work? Say you meet a girl and you're like, oh, I'm into you. I want to take you out. She's like, listen, I don't really do boyfriends. Like we can hang out, but it's never going to be anything.
Yeah. On me personally, no, I think that's insane. Cause it sounds to me like you're giving me everything that I was going to trick you into doing anyway.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
You. That's immediately what I thought when I saw this TikTok. I was like, no, this girl is dumb. This is like most men are like, wait.
I'm looking for a way to make you feel like that's okay.
Yeah, because what she's implying, like how she says it, I'm like, I don't know if she's sleeping with these men. I'm like, but if you are, most men just go, oh, awesome.
Yeah, you know
I could just sleep with you and just, that's it.
You know what I would do if a girl told me that? You know the gif of Drake at the Toronto Raptors Warriors game when KD gets hurt and he's like,
yeah.
Oh my God. No, I'll be like, no, just no boyfriend. No, are you sure? Oh man, damn. I guess we should get out of here then and go fuck, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Damn. So you don't. So no, I don't gotta meet your mom. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I guess if
Right.
that's what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that working on some guys with like big egos, but practically, I think you're gonna find a lot less success than more success with that strategy.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're sleeping with them.
Yeah, that's insane.
I guess if you're not sleeping with them and you're like, oh, we can hang, and you never, and whatever.
Or if that's genuinely what you're looking for as a woman, that's great.
Right. But I'm like, all the men I've interviewed,
yeah,
I'm like, you just gave him the green light that we can just have casual sex.
To use that as a strategy for a potential relationship, if that's what you're looking for, it seems ass backwards to me.
It seems terrible. And also, it's like any man that does try still, quote, to be the exception, whatever, and her thing. I'm like, it already was a man that really wanted to actually date you.
Yeah.
That already was like, I want to make you my girlfriend.
Yeah. Do you even want a guy that you got to trick into a relationship with
No.
you at that point? You know,
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. But I saw this. I was like, there's no fucking
That's
way.
insane.
There's no way that this
I would,
work.
as a man, even though this doesn't necessarily help me anymore, I do implore these women, I implore everybody to go run their content up, because if more women are thinking like this, the patriarchy's in a great place, son. We are cooking with gas. All my homies is eating, son. The team is up big. I like that shit. Shout out to,
whoever these are.
Shout out to y'all. Sugar Spice. Spice is up right now.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway.
Shout out to
I was
Sugar
just
Spice.
like,
That's funny.
because also I mean, have you ever had something that was casual turn into something?
100%.
You have.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really rare.
Yeah, I think it's rare, and it's definitely, I couldn't advise or give advice to women to do that, because it's you're acting against your own self-interest in those positions as a woman.
Yeah.
But in the times that it's happened to me, I've always respected the honesty. When a woman's like, yo, I don't, like, this was casual and now I don't feel that way anymore. Like, I feel a way about you, and if we're not gonna go any further, then let's cut this off now. I always respect that, and I end up like what my last relationship kind of started like that, when she was like, yo, if we're not gonna go forward, then we're cutting this off. And it made me respect it. And then we circled back like 3 months later, and I knew when I came back that if I was coming back, I had to be on a certain type of time, because she was intentional, and I respect that.
Yeah.
So I think, if you want to have a casual thing, do that. And if it becomes more, you are responsible for being honest. And if you lose the guy because you were honest, that's not the guy for you anyway.
No.
There's going to be somebody out there who you don't have to play those games with.
No, I'm always like, situations get messy because you lie to yourself.
Facts. That's what's there.
For me, that's always when it gets messy.
Yeah.
Or that's usually when the problem comes.
Yeah, big time.
Anyway, but I think we're at time for today. This was so fun.
Mad fun.
This was awesome.
Mad fun. Thank y'all for having me. I would love to come back anytime.
Yes, I'd love to have you back.
Yes.
If you're not following JC yet, guys, follow him at Peach Fuzz Poppy. That's Peach, Peach, Fuzz, Fuzz, Papi. Peach Fuzz Poppy. TikTok, Instagram. Go look wherever you can find him and see him. He performs all over New York. So check him out.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Appreciate y'all.
And you can follow us at Shooters Gotta Shoot Pod, and I'm at Sperica with 2 A's. And thank you guys for listening, watching. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
That was mad fun. Cool.